The Lobo Coaches Show is brought to you by Bud Light and Bud Light Seltzer, the perfect matchup. Enjoy responsibly. Hello again, Lobo fans, and welcome into another edition of your Lobo Coaches Show, presented by Bud Light and Bud Light Seltzer. I'm your host, Robert Portnoy. We're talking Lobo Softball with you this week, and I have the head coach for Lobo Softball, Paula Congleton. Coach, how you doing?
Good. It's good to see you again. It's good to see you live versus on Zoom.
Yeah, it's been all Zoom for like darn near a year, it feels like.
For sure. It's good. It's good to see different people, for sure.
That's great gear, too, by the way. The cherry with the turquoise Lobos across the front. Awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, everything that we have here at Lobo Softball has turquoise in it. If you look at any of our uniforms, we can mix and match. Everything's got turquoise in it. I
love that because you're old school Lobo, right? So the turquoise, it's right here in your heart, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. Our white uniform that we use, that's a very similar design that we had when Susan Craig and Ken Johnson were our coaches and that I played in. So I brought old school back.
I love it.
Yeah.
You're back. And now you're settled in and this is your program. How does it feel?
It feels fantastic. As you can maybe see, the locker room is new. We've made some really, I think, fantastic changes in 3 years. You've seen the Lobo padding out there with Lobo out there and the University of New Mexico on the wall padding. We've got the World Series up there. We've got when we took the few championships. So yeah, it's definitely feeling like true New Mexico, and I'm back.
We've got Paula Congleton, the Lobo softball head coach. She knows this program top to bottom. She's lived it her entire life. I remember talking to you when you were so excited to get back here and take the reins on this program. I know you want to take it to new heights, never seen before. Let's talk about the first trip for this season and how cool it was to see your team get to compete again. Finally, it's been almost a year.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's crazy, right, that we're still in this whole thing and we're still wearing masks and it's been a full year. But yeah, absolutely phenomenal to get to see our kids. We've been doing some Zoom things, for the last 11, 12 months. And to get to see our team in person as a full team is phenomenal. And, this weekend, to be honest with you, as a coaching staff, we thought we would come out of there 4-2. And now we kind of know where we're at. We've only had a full month of team practice, and maybe those expectations were a little high, but it was great. It was great seeing the kids in the uniforms, smiling, happy. The bus trip down, getting on that field at U of A. It's a beautiful stadium. And competing with some of the nation's top teams was great.
You might not realize this, but they did get to start in the fall, but then in October, you guys got shut down because of the restrictions for COVID, and there was a period of 4 months there where, again, it was all virtual. You literally have only had a month to get ready for this season?
Yeah, that's right. That's right, because even when we were in September, we were in small pods of 4. And, we worked through the fundamentals. I guess the good thing about that is we really worked on a lot of fundamentals and we had a lot of time with individual players. And that was a good thing. And then when we came back, we had to start so late in January because of additional COVID restrictions. And now just getting to see the team and working through that. So, first weekend out, and to be honest with you, we were scheduled to play opening weekend because we were hosting. And we just shut that down completely. And instead of putting the team into an environment of getting, that first weekend out, we thought, we're not ready. So last weekend was our opening weekend, even though for Division I softball, it was February 13th.
And you faced number 4 Arizona a couple of times as part of that opening weekend. And I see Arizona State coming up, Oklahoma coming up, Oklahoma State, and more out of the Big 12. Your schedule's a meat grinder here at the start, Coach.
Yeah, well, I figured that we've got to play tough competition in order to prepare ourselves for the end of the season and beyond the season. So, we want to be ready for the Mountain West Conference, but we also want to blow through the conference, and we want to get into that regional tournament, super regionals, and then on our way back to OKC.
Wow. Well, they've definitely scheduled tough. They'll be battle tested once it gets Mountain West scheduled time. Okay, Coach Congleton, your third year you mentioned. What about this year's squad? What are some of the strengths? What are some of the weaknesses? and what do you think the potential is?
Boy, the potential is the sky's the limits. And we've got a solid lineup. I mean, we've started out with Rachel Hathoot, and then we go into Cameron and Andrea, and then into Lauren and Bree Martinez. And when you look at some of those names, those are a lot of local kids, right? And we feel like we're just strong offensively 1 through 9, and defensively, those kids are phenomenal. You know, we had some execution errors this past weekend, but you know, that's just stuff that, you know, play catch, throw the ball, and let's clean things up. But I feel like we're really solid in those two departments. Pitching, we've added Emma Gwendon onto the staff, a transfer from Monterey Bay, and she's going to do some really great things for us. And Kiana, she returned as our super senior this year, and I mean, you know, she did a phenomenal job for us last year. So looking forward to seeing her really just dominate this year. And then we've added a couple of other kids onto the staff. So I mean, is it the strongest pitching staff? Absolutely not. But it is a step up, and we're excited.
All right, one of the standouts in the lineup is Andrea Howard. We're going to talk to her here on the other side of this break. What has she meant to this program, and what does the future hold for her? Because she is unbelievable. Unbelievable
is the perfect word for her. I feel like Andrea has the golden ticket in life. Not only is she a beautiful kid inside and out, she's got a great sense of humor. She is very smart. You know, she's going into the medical field. In fact, she's doing her internship. She's a hell of a ball player, and on the Italian Olympic team. So we're super excited for that opportunity for her, because that, of course, got shut down also. And she's just a super teammate, but even more than that, phenomenal human being.
Before we started the show, she arrived from work. She was in her scrubs.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. I mean, like I said, the kid is phenomenal. And I don't think there's an area in her life, and of course, she's so humble, she wouldn't acknowledge that, but I don't think there's an area in her life that she's really lacking anything.
Okay, more with Coach Congleton when we wrap up the show. But next, one of the Lobos' star hitters, Andrea Howard, on your Lobo Coaches Show.
The Lobo Coaches Show is brought to you by Bud Light and Bud Light Seltzer, the perfect matchup. Enjoy responsibly.
This Bud Light Seltzer lemonade is packed with lemonade flavor.
Honestly, it has more flavor than my grandma's lemonade.
Oh, no.
New Bud Light Seltzer Lemonade.
We're back on your Lobo Coaches Show, presented by Bud Light and Bud Light Seltzer. I'm your host, Robert Portnoy. We have an outstanding Lobo softball player with us now, Andrea Howard. What's going on, Andrea? How you doing?
Good, how are you?
You know what? I'm doing fine. Let's start with the most immediate thing. You guys just finally got back on the field for the first time in almost a year. How exciting was it?
Oh my gosh, it was awesome. It was so fun. A lot of nerves, but I think it was mostly excitement, because, I mean, we haven't been able to play for a year, so it was good to be back on the field all together again.
So you guys are back on the field together, and you can practice together here in Albuquerque. You couldn't do that for so long. When you guys got the word back in January that it wasn't just groups of 5 or less, but you guys could all get on the field together, what did that feel like?
That was amazing. It was really cool. I think the first memory I have about it was that you could see all of the cars in the parking lot, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's so many cars here. How many people do we have on our team? So it was cool to be able to see everybody work in the same environment at the same time.
Small things, right? In our COVID world, a full parking lot is an exciting thing. We have Andrea Howard, the Lobo softball team, with us. What was the spirit like, that first workout when you knew, okay, hey, we're a month away from the season, and now we're actually getting ready for a game as a full unit?
For me, it was kind of nerve-wracking, just because, I mean, it's been almost a year, so you're like, oh my gosh, it's actually time to play. But I think we were well prepared, and I think we were all very excited to get back on the field. So it was very fun for us.
We've already heard from Coach Congleton, and she talked about what you guys have done since you returned from this first road trip to start the season. You guys kind of had a reset meeting and workout today, the day that we're taping this show. What was the meeting like for you? And what was the workout like as you guys start preparing for your next trip?
Yeah, so the workout, we mostly just do, like on Tuesdays, it's a light lift since we're in season. So we did some upper body, some lower body, some core, just to make sure that all muscle groups are getting worked out. And then we had our little chalk talk before practice. And it was just mostly about our mindset and just, reiterating that we should trust ourselves and we should just believe in our capabilities, and I think that was really good for all of us to hear that. Me personally, I liked it just because it helped me make my mindset more concrete. So it was a good talk.
Gosh, I think about when I'm on a golf course and just committing to what I'm planning to do and then doing it. I guess that's kind of what you're talking about, isn't it?
Pretty much. Yeah.
You were able to do it though, to some degree. I mean, how many bombs did you have in this last trip?
I don't know. I don't like stats, so I'm gonna stay away from that.
I think it was 3. So you hit the ground running, but exciting to see one go over the wall for the first time this season. Kind of get that that in the books, and now exhale a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I guess the first a home run is always like the most exciting, but also like, oh, thank goodness, like we're okay.
Yeah.
But so it was a lot of fun, and it was an exciting moment for the team, I think.
Getting the first win, huge. I know you'd love to come back from the first trip with more than the one win, but that felt good?
It was amazing, yes. Yeah, I think as a team, we played solid, and we kind of found out, where our strengths were, where our weaknesses were. So I think that first win really helped us glue together a little bit more.
Andrea Howard is a local product fan. She's from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and La Cueva High School. Now she's playing D1 softball in her hometown for her hometown school. A, was that always a dream? And B, what's it been like to represent, your home state in the cherry and silver?
It was always a dream for me, and I'm excited to be able to represent my home state. Honestly, I didn't really look at any other college because I knew that I wanted to play for my home state. It's really special to me to be able to play here just because I know that my family can come watch whenever they want. My high school has been so supportive of me throughout the years, and I just love seeing, old teachers coming to games, and it's just been a really special journey for me.
Well, and the journey is now to its final chapter. I mean, is there some bittersweet to your senior season?
Not yet. I think I'm going to take a 5th season, so I'm not there yet.
Awesome. So you're going to get the extra season, the COVID season.
Yes, the COVID season.
Fantastic. Well, that's great. Lobo fans get treated to your power for an extra year. Right on. Okay, so what's your ambition for your team this season? How high is the ceiling for Lobo softball here in 2021?
I don't think we have a ceiling. I think we have some work to do, but Tyler was talking about it today that like good teams, they struggle in the beginning, and that's how you have the ability to come together as a team and know that you guys are fighting for, the same cause, and I'm very excited to see what the rest of the season holds because I think we can do really, really well.
Well, you guys certainly don't take the early season lightly. You play the Pac-12, you play the Big 12. There's so many name schools, name brand, big time schools on your schedule. Is it ever intimidating?
I don't think so. I think it's more exciting for us. There are great pitchers on those teams. There are great hitters on those teams. So just be able to play against them and compete with them, I think it's such a privilege for us.
Well, thanks so much for being with us, Andrea, and we sure appreciate you joining us. Wish you the best of luck the rest of the way. Hope the Lobos have a terrific 2021 campaign.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. Andrea Howard, a Lobo senior. Peyton Robinson, a junior, joins us next on your Lobo Coaches Show.
The Lobo Coaches Show is brought to you by Bud Light and Bud Light Seltzer, the perfect matchup. Enjoy responsibly.
I miss the kids. Do they miss me?
It's been really hard being apart from everyone.
I don't know, babe. I'm not sure when we'll be together again.
It's been so hard taking care of the kids all day by myself.
I'm so sad that I won't be with the family.
I just hate being separated from everyone.
Welcome back on your Lobo Coaches Show. We're presented by Bud Light and Bud Light Seltzer. I'm your host, Robert Portnoy. Now, a junior, Peyton Robinson of the Lobo softball team joins us. Peyton, what's going on for you today? How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm all right. So I asked your teammate Andrea about this workout after you guys got back from your first road trip. Tell me how you felt about those first games, and then what was good about what you guys did both on the field and in the weight room and in the team meeting as you guys reviewed the first trip and you get ready for the second trip out on the road.
Yeah, so the first few games were really exciting. I think we all were a little nervous, especially me, like being new on the team, but it was very fun and exciting just being on the team together, all of us, since we've only had like maybe a month of practice. So just getting out and playing was just so fun since it's been so long. And then I think the workout today was really good to get us going and moving and just motivated for this week because we have some tough competition, but like we can be up there just as much with them. Like I'm just excited to get on the field and show them what we have because we have a great team.
What's your perspective on when the team got back together in full? Now, a lot of the team returning, a lot of returning starters, but you're new. What was your perspective in the way everybody reacted when they were able to finally practice together in full?
Yeah, I just think when we finally got out there, like we all just meshed so well. Like it didn't even skip a beat that we hadn't been on the field in the fall all together. Like we all just went at it and went hard and went to work, really. We were all just all in, as the shirt says.
I love it. We got Peyton Robinson of Lobo Softball. So what's it like? What's the chemistry like? Give us your perspective. Yeah, like how much fun is it to be a Lobo? How is this team? How do you like your teammates?
I love my teammates. They're all so great. Coming to practice is like the best thing ever. It's just so much fun and everyone's just having a great time, laughing, joking, dancing. But like when we need to get to work, we all push each other and motivate each other, and like you just have that support system from your girls that like they're there for you when you need them, and we're all gonna work hard together no matter what. So
I like to ask sometimes for a little scouting report. Give us a scouting report on your teammate Andrea Howard. What kind of a player is she? What kind of a hitter is she? What kind of a teammate is she?
She's just great all around. She does it all. I joke about her. I'm like, you're beast mode. Like, you're so awesome. She just does it all. Like, she's great. She's always there in the dugout. If she's not hitting, she's cheering you on. If she's on the field, she's supporting you. If she's hitting, she's attacking that pitcher. She's showing that pitcher that she's going to hit the ball. So she's great to watch. I love her. So.
What about Albuquerque? I know there's, with the, the restrictions because of COVID. Mm-hmm. Maybe you haven't seen it as much as you would have liked, but what do you think of your new home away from home?
Oh, it's so nice. I swear every day is sunny and nice. Like today, I was just like, wow, this weather is so nice. And I love being able to go to the mountain and hike if I want to, or I don't know, it's just always sunny and perfect here. We've
got Peyton Robinson of Lobo Softball. Now, your schedule here at the beginning of the year, so brutal. We talked to Andrea about it. What did you learn from these initial games? Obviously, you played the number 4 team in the nation in Arizona. You've got more Pac-12, Big 12 schools coming up. I guess that's part of why you came here, right?
Yeah, exactly. Seeing the competition we have, it's just fun to get to play them and get to see that competition, but it also helps you become a better person and an athlete. Like you're playing with the best, but you're also hanging in with the best and showing everyone what you can do.
And prepares you for the Mountain West too, right?
Exactly, yeah. I think our competition right now is really going to help us when we get into conference because we're just going to go in there and do our thing and we're going to know what we need to do and do it well and execute, and we're just going to be winning all the time.
Well, we're excited that you guys are back on the field. Best of luck on your next trip. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Peyton Robinson of Lobo Softball. When we come back, we're back with Paula Congleton, the head coach, as we wrap up your Lobo Coaches Show.
Larry H. Miller dealerships have helped over 20 million service customers. To put it in perspective, if we served one customer every minute and started right now, we wouldn't be done for 38 years. How have we kept so many customers happy? We have decades of experience with master-trained technicians who can handle the routine jobs and tackle the toughest repairs from our state-of-the-art facilities located near you. 20 million jobs done right. Schedule yours at a Larry H. Miller dealership or online at lhmauto.com.
We're back to wrap up your Lobo Coaches Show, presented by Bud Light and Bud Light Seltzer. I'm your host, Robert Portnoy. We welcome back Coach Congleton. Paula, We just heard from Peyton Robinson, and you told us about the humility and how much respect you have for Andrea Howard. Peyton Robinson's new to the program. What about her, and what does she bring to the table?
Yes, she brings a lot. She's got a great sense of humor. She's loud in the dugout. She's fun at practice. She has a really good spirit about her, and she works really hard. So she's definitely a great addition to our program.
You know, she mentioned how loud Andrea is in the dugout, and you guys clearly, that's a big focus. It sounds like this team is really good when it comes to supporting each other.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, our kids have really understood and are grateful for even having a season. And I think that's the forefront of where we stand. We're proud to be New Mexicans, to be Lobos, but we have so much gratitude in our hearts that we're even able to play. And I think that is what really is shining through, and why everybody is so excited about being on the field, putting on their cleats, smelling the dirt, smelling the grass, smelling the glove. And yeah, we're excited. We're really excited.
Paula mentioned it in our open, and obviously we've talked to one of the New Mexicans on the roster in Andrea Howard, but the numbers keep growing of kids from the state, local products. You're really embracing this We Are New Mexico feel, and obviously you think there's plenty of talent here. What is the key to getting the best softball players to come to UNM, and then how far can they take the program?
Yeah. You know, New Mexico does have some very talented ball players. I mean, we can't take them all.
Right.
But those that are at the top, the cream of the crop, we're getting them. And I'm not letting them get out of the state. I'm not letting them go down south. And I think we've done a really great job. Tyler Heil's my assistant coach and also the recruiting coordinator, and he does a phenomenal job with recruiting and bringing the kids in. And this year we've got our new pitching coach, Brandon Maurer, and he is also stepped in and done a phenomenal job. And he's been here for a short period of time, but the kids are responding and everything is looking good. So, yeah.
You mentioned these new lockers, the new padding on the outfield wall. I know you have so many that are behind the scenes that support this program. They're so important to the program. I wanted to give you a chance to talk about them and thank them on our Coaches Show.
Yeah, we couldn't survive without the support of our specific donors for softball. It's what keeps us alive. And, you know, we've got some really tremendous alumni that have not only supported us financially, but they support us emotionally. You know, they'll send cards to the kids. Again, thank you all for everything that you guys do. We wouldn't survive without you.
Could you imagine sitting in a locker room that looks like this back when you were a player back in the day?
This locker room wasn't even around. This was part of the parking lot. In fact, between the baseball and the softball field, that's where we used to park. And so I know our kids have gratitude and appreciate everything that we've been doing. But yeah, I'm a little jealous, and I guess maybe that's why we've designed the way we are, because if I was a ball player, I would certainly love to be in this locker room.
Oh, it's just awesome. Okay, so they come back from Tucson, got one win in Tucson. I know they'd like to have gotten a few more. Now you're back to Arizona coming up later this week. You're going to Phoenix and Tempe.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we start out at Tempe, and we start out with University of Oklahoma. So, like you said, just throw them into the fire. But, you know, the way I feel about it is when we have a competitive schedule, and also being able to go to these different stadiums. I mean, there are so many beautiful stadiums around the country, and for our kids to be able to play in those stadiums and to play against the competition that we are, that's also a privilege. And I always want our kids to understand that it's a privilege to play for this particular program. So, yeah, and then we've got Arizona State for the nightcap. You know, I've got a little PTSD from when we played them at the Nutter, and it sounded like a slot machine going behind my head. They'd scored so many runs. But, you know, it's a different team, and I think the kids are not so shell-shocked in what we're trying to do here, and they've bought in and they believe in our vision and what we're doing and the mission that we're striving for. So yeah, Arizona State and Oklahoma, 2 tough games on Friday, and then we open up with Oklahoma on Saturday morning at GCU, and then GCU Saturday afternoon, and then back to Tempe to play ASU for the nightcap, and then we'll hit the road coming back home on Sunday.
I wanted to circle back to something I asked your players about. You talked about it when I first arrived, before we even started the show, regarding the meeting that you had with the team, in particular the talk you had with your lineup, and wanting them to sort of adjust their mentality just a little bit. We heard from the kids about what that meant to them, but what was the message that you were trying to convey to them? Obviously, you're looking for them to have an even better week when you get back out to the Grand Canyon State.
Really, the message was belief, and we use the word comfort. And you know, when you're in like a comfortable time or a comfortable space, we feel that you're not really working that well, right? So if you want to grow and you want to get better, you have to be uncomfortable. And so we encourage our kids to be uncomfortable. When I talk about failure, it's not the player that's failing, it's the plan, it's the action. The people aren't the ones that are failing. Our kids aren't failing. It may be their approach, or it may be something that is going on with that particular plan. So we just really encourage the belief in what they're doing and encourage them in all of those aspects, especially for hitting. I mean, we're facing the top teams in the country, and you know, Arizona's 6, 7 deep, and ASU, same thing. They've got quite a phenomenal staff. And so our kids can't be intimidated when they go in there. They've got to feel comfortable, but prepared. And so that's kind of what the message was today was, you know, it's okay to be uncomfortable because that's where growth happens, but you've got to have belief in yourself, because without that belief, then who are we? What are we doing?
Boy, I love hearing that stuff. It's hard to get people to step out of their comfort zone and allow themselves to be challenged and accept the failure that comes with that so they can grow. There's so much in that, but how do you approach that? How do you encourage the young player to accept a little failure because they know that they're going to come out on the other side of it better?
Yeah, so, well, we don't yell and scream at our players. We allow them that time to process what they're doing. We go over a lot of drills. When we talk about hitting, we really let our kids hit in the natural state. I mean, they've already had these swings for, 7, 8, 9, 10 years now. All we're doing is tweaking maybe a little bit of timing. We're not changing an entire swing. I don't need a staff or a team that all hits the same way, because they're not all built the same way. So we just kind of encourage individually, and then as a group, we talk about what our pluses are, what our minuses are, and what can we do to enhance or to change those minuses into the plus column.
I want a bat and a helmet. Let's go.
I got one. We got the indoor right here.
Coach Congleton, awesome to be with you. I know the season's just getting started. We look for big things from the Lobos and wish you the very best of luck.
Yeah, thank you so much, and go Lobos.
All right, Paula Congleton, the Lobo softball coach, Chase Christensen, our director, and as well Stanley Frazier. I'm Robert Portnoy. Thanks to the whole crew. That'll do it for this Lobo Coaches Show. So long, everybody, and go Lobos.